Hello, hi, welcome back. My name is Eva, and today we are here to read some MLM horror stories. If you want to share your detailed experience with a certain MLM, my email address is going to be down below. Anyway, so let's get into the stories. Okay, so the first story is about Herbalife. So I was a part of a team from January to April 2021. The way it went is that I was following a girl on Instagram since September 2020. So this is probably going to be very much alike to what I experienced with an Usborne consultant. That's one of the tactics where they're going to be super nice to you. They're going to befriend you online and you're going to think they're your Instagram friend, but yeah, they have an ultimate goal of recruiting you into their MLM, which is sad, but yeah, this is exactly what happened to me as well. I found her kind and inspiring, and I interacted a lot with her at this time. I was reluctant to start this because I was building my website for my business and wanted to get it up and running as soon as possible. Then, in December, I thought about it and said to myself, why not? After all, it looks really cool. That's how I opened my Herbalife account in December and created a new Instagram account just for that. Already in January, I found that the girl in question was not as nice as I thought. Shocker. I quickly noticed that she was not patient. She doesn't like to teach and has admitted herself to not being patient in explaining things. It didn't make me feel comfortable. It also happened on several occasions that she gave me incorrect or incomplete information, which did not make my task easier. So already after 2 to 3 weeks, I began to regret my choice. Why did you stay in this situation? Quite simply because I listened to the meetings, the personal development lives in the morning, which filled me with hope. I really wanted to succeed. During this 4-month period, I saw how there are people doing MLMs on Instagram. There are tons of them. Usborne, Beachbody, Herbalife, Monet. I did not hear about these two. I need to do more research. Just for Herbalife, there were really a lot of us, and I noticed that a lot of my followers were already following other people from Herbalife. Basically, when you are recruited into an MLM, and this doesn't happen just with Herbalife, but with all MLMs, like most of your followers are going to be MLM consultants. So obviously you can't recruit them or you can't sell to them because they're already consultants. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's another issue, is like all of the people that are following you are already either MLM consultants or are already following other MLM consultants. That's how oversaturated this is. So not only did I have to convince them to come with me, but I also had to compete with a lot of people who sell the exact same products as me. This point demotivated me enormously. I started business, and for me, that did not make sense. To stand out in business, you need to have a competitive advantage. You have to differentiate yourself from others. Yes, they tell us that it's our personality that is going to make you successful, and that is going to attract your customers, but I don't know if it's accessible for a lot of people. Already, you have to be comfortable with networks and talk about your life on camera. Then, you need to have self-confidence and be solid, because it's not every day that you are in the mood. There's also being a positive person who plays, but it's not always easy to stay that way when the results don't come. The last thing is that you also have to know that when you don't know a lot of things about fitness, you often feel incompetent in what you do. I am a person who likes to give full information, but I had not studied in this field and still felt that I did not know enough. This is another problem with all the Beachbody coaches and Herbalife, when people are sharing fitness, nutritional advice without any certifications in the field, and this can be super dangerous, and we spoke about this in my previous videos, especially in the Beachbody fails videos. So I didn't feel like I was good enough to help people in that sense. So for sure, the fact that I felt like this contributed to my dislike of fitness coaching. I didn't feel like I was making a real difference in the lives of my clients. Also, I must say that the products for digestion have helped me enormously. That's nice, I guess. I mean, I've never tried anything from Herbalife, so I don't know. In addition, I want to say that it's really a lot of work for little result. So that's what we always say over here. You're hustling all the time and you're barely getting any results. So this is universal for all MLMs. Again, this is not just Herbalife. We had meetings every Monday evening, a meeting on Thursday evening to invite people to the business opportunity, meetings in the morning to work in group virtually. That's a lot of meetings for like a side hustle. On top of that, we had a free training group for prospects and a group for customers on Facebook. We had to do content in that, daily workouts, information, capsules, mindset, recipes. At first I did more, but I soon noticed that it wasn't really a good idea to put so much energy into it. There were also group chats to follow on Messenger on daily basis. Oh my god, group chats are so exhausting. I felt overwhelmed and I was made to feel bad for not being there when I decided to take a step back. So that's also what happens all the time, that when you decide to step back, they shut you out, they change their behaviors towards you. There were too many things, and when it doesn't pay off, we wonder why we are doing so much. Above all, I was thinking that maybe I should put that time into something else. Yes. And that's in addition to your Instagram to animate. We were also encouraged to share the content we created for our Instagram account with the other team members. All stemming from our upline. And the knowledge we had. So they had to share everything because it's teamwork. Once again, it didn't make sense to me, this teamwork, because in reality, we are all competitors. Yes. For our upline, it's not, because she makes money on every person below her. It doesn't matter who sells it. It doesn't change anything for her, but for us, it does. To counter this argument, they told me that it was a lack of vision argument, and that was counterproductive. So her just stating the obvious business flaws is a lack of vision. Girl, I know you're watching this, and yeah, I hope you know that this is BS and it's not a lack of vision. It's a very flawed business model, and yeah, it doesn't make sense at all. I don't know if they're brainwashed or do they actually believe in what they're saying. It's just, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, this is so ridiculous. When you point out something that's wrong, they have different manipulation tactics that they're gonna use to turn it up on you to make it seem like it's your fault. It's something that you're doing wrong, or in this case, a lack of vision for her, which is why I guess she's failing or whatever. So yeah, it's annoying. The lesson I take from this experience is that if it starts out badly, it's not worth continuing. It's best to quit right away if we see that things won't work out for us. I stayed, and the relationship with my upline had deteriorated a lot. I had developed frustration with her that could have been avoided if I had left earlier. That's true. Maybe I would have done better with another upline, but I think the market is saturated, especially since the pandemic. That's also true. You have 99% failure rates in every MLM out there, so I don't think it's the upline. I don't think it's you. It's just they're oversaturated, so you're better off without being a part of an MLM. So finally, I advise you to be very careful of yourself if you decide to join an MLM. The culture of guilt is very strong. We are always told that it's our fault if it doesn't work. It's not your fault. But yeah, they're going to do everything they can to make you feel like it's your fault. There's also pressure for performance. It's easy to feel bad when the results don't come and get banged up. In the Messenger team group, people are saying their results and sales all the time, and it gets frustrating sometimes because you do the right thing and it doesn't work. Sometimes it's just not for us, and not everyone has an interest in it or a big pool of followers. This is very good points. This is all that I keep repeating in my videos. If you start but you don't have a big following, like if you're not an influencer of any kind or whatever, you will most likely fail. But if you have like a big following, fans, whatever, you most likely will do very well, because obviously your followers are going to join because they want to work with you and stuff like that. So yeah. There's also the question of values. I learned in April that 99.7% of people lose money with an MLM. Yep, that's very concerning statistics. When I found out about this, I decided to quit. I just couldn't go on. I feel dishonest otherwise. I also want to make it clear that most of the relationships are not genuine, and since I left the team, several people on the team have unfollowed me. Just take care of yourself, it's important. We are no less valuable because we quit. You have to listen to your heart. I said earlier that we had to put our personality forward to succeed. I decided to instead develop my personal branding and content independently of that, and I am confident that I will eventually be more successful on social media as well as with my own business. And good for you, girl. I'm so happy to hear that you're out of the MLM and that you are working on your own proper business. So yeah, I wish you all the luck and thank you so much for sharing your story. Just another confirmation of what I've been repeating all the time. Most of the relationships that you make with other MLM teammates, whatever, are not genuine, because I've heard so many times when you decide to leave, they just change their attitude towards you, they shut you out, so they're not genuine friendships. They are friendships based on benefits. They're benefiting off of you, and of course they're going to be super friendly to you, but then when you decide to leave and they have nothing from you anymore, they're just going to shut you out or be very rude to you. And yeah, this story just confirmed. And again, thank you so much for sending it on. Okay, so the next one was sent to me by a fellow Redditor, and this one is about Usborne Books and More. So I've actually never heard of Usborne Books prior to receiving this story. Again, thank you so much for sending the story on. If you're not sure if something's an MLM, there's a Reddit group, anti-MLM, where you have a thread where it says like, is this an MLM? And you can search for the name of the company that you're interested in. Or if you're not on Reddit, all you have to do is just put into Google search the name of the company and MLM. And this is literally, if it's an MLM, you're gonna have a ton of results for your research. And the first article that I got when I googled Usborne Books MLM, it says, is Usborne Books and More a scam? And then underneath it says nicely, Usborne Books is a UK-based MLM publishing company where independent organizers receive commission on the books they sell. So it sounds nice, right? If you're into reading and books, this would sound very nice, very easy as a side hustle. However, we're going to hear from the next two stories are on Usborne Books and More, so we're going to hear that this is not actually how it goes. Okay, so I joined Usborne Books and More in September of 2018 as a means of earning income as a stay-at-home mom of 2 kids under 4, not wanting to pay for childcare and looking for a flexible at-home opportunity. I didn't know much about the company other than it being a children's book publisher with an independent sales team. I was attracted to the generous commission structure, 25% of sales plus more if you lead a team. So sales, but also you have to have a downline, recruit other people, all the same. Low sales requirements, maybe $300 per quarter. Sometimes I can't pronounce words. And heavy training / support. I knew I would only get paid based on the work I put into it, so I hit the ground running and followed recommended marketing strategies. I have never been a social media person, but I did use my Facebook account and friends list to market my business. I was coached to personally message and invite literally everyone on my friends list about attending or hosting their own party. I was giving message templates for inviting to parties, host coaching, following up with party participants, and for finding party hosts and recruits. Messages were written to sound sincere, natural, and enthusiastic about the business. Wording was leading and manipulative in the sense that I was to bring things I've learned about the person into the conversations, like use their job status to naturally lead into discussion about joining Usborne, use their kids' school interest or even struggles to try and sell products. Find ways to make fundraisers relevant to their current personal situation. So yeah, manipulation. I held a couple of fundraisers for friends and a few book drives that I'm absolutely ashamed about now. Recruiting was pushed, but like inviting to parties, it was to be personal, one-on-one, and made to seem like their idea. Again, manipulation. I promoted express success for achieving certain sales goals and building a team within my first 90 days. My team included 6 members at its peak. and I was always pushed to be involved in their parties/businesses to help them identify potential recruits. It was all very time consuming on top of trying to maintain my own business plus my personal life, home, kids. I became stressed out trying to keep on top of trainings, company-wide promotions, local team challenges, personal parties, team management, customer follow-ups, etc. So yeah, there's a lot of going on. That's a lot of work for like a side hustle, an easy side hustle. Work on your own time, work on your own terms. Yeah, yikes. Running parties alone was very time consuming with no guarantee of earning commission. We had party templates we could use, but to make them feel more natural and personal, they were customized to fit my audience, tone, preferences. I found myself shooing my kids away or sitting them in front of the TV so that I could complete my work, which felt very backwards from my mission of selling things to help parents spend more quality time with their kids. Yeah, this happens so often. Like, you end up sacrificing like your relationships, your family relationships, your time with your kids just in order to be able to hustle on the side for this. This is so not what they're advertising when they're trying to recruit you. Towards the end of my time with Usborne, we were encouraged to use an off-Facebook party platform called Squee, which has a direct sales party hub co-developed by one of the Usborne's top leaders. Of course. Squee? I don't know. Squee was enticing because it wasn't Facebook. It had a more virtual living room feel, and it was a new option for something so overdone. Squee Squee was optional but heavily pushed and did not require a subscription. Oh my god, I can't speak anymore. Developing and or customizing parties were even more time consuming on Facebook. A few other MLMs use this platform as well. I decided to quit Usborne in December of 2019. Oh my god, so that's 1 year. Oh my god, more than 1 year. She joined in September of 2018 and quit in December of 2019. So you really tried. Like, this is a person who really tried to make it work. But like we always say, 99% of failure rate, it doesn't matter. It's not your effort. The business model is built for you to fail. So yeah, this is definitely not her fault. So anyway, I decided to quit in December of 2019 after feeling an overall distaste for social media. I sold what inventory I had, not much since I wasn't required to keep any on hand, passed off my teammates and quit the business and social media as a whole, and good for you. My team leader offered to kindly take my customers. Yeah, how kind of her. After stepping away, I can recognize all the embarrassingly relentless tactics that I used, and I was even mild on the aggression scale. I feel like I've tarnished my name by being involved with an MLM. Now when I reach out to old friends in a true attempt to reconnect, I'm ignored or find I have been blocked or unfriended. I'm so sorry. Having a side business for a short time was absolutely not worth the repercussions it has had on my social connections and self-esteem. Usborne certainly does a much better job at hiding from the MLM label, in my opinion. Although they have the same business model as some of the more guilty companies. The business practices and marketing techniques are questionable, pushy, and predatory towards individual looking for flexible work, as with any other pyramid scheme setup. Thanks for letting me share my story. I hope this information helps your project and opens up eyes of anyone looking to learn more into MLMs or Usborne in particular. So yeah, thank you so much again for sharing your story. I'm sure your story is going to be helpful to anyone interested. Like I said, I did not know about Usborne before I heard this story. But yeah, it has all the same business model, the same manipulation tactics for recruitment, just preying on vulnerable people. And yeah, I think it's very brave and it's very important to share stories and experiences like this, because we just need to keep being vocal, and hopefully one day something's gonna change, or at least people are gonna be a lot more aware of MLMs and how damaging and harmful they are. So Okay, so the last one was also sent to me by a fellow Redditor. Again, thank you so much for sending it on. So he shared his own stories, and he also shared his girlfriend's stories. His girlfriend was a part of multiple MLMs, unfortunately. So for me, I did Usborne Books for a little while. It was during the pandemic lockdown and I was bored. Saw their ad and thought I would give it a try, as I love books and reading in general. And I thought it would be a good way to interact with people a bit more, as I was feeling isolated. Plus earn a little bit of extra spending money. I wasn't kidding myself that I would earn loads. I knew it would only be a bit, so I signed up, paid for the starter pack, which cost about £40. It does say in the small print, which I did read thoroughly before signing up, that because you are getting the books in the starter pack at a cheaper price, that you have to make their value in sales in the first 2 months, or you have to pay the difference back yourself to be clear of any obligation. I set up a Facebook group, was introduced to my upline. I was like, I've been reading for 35 minutes and I can't read anymore. I was introduced to my upline through an email and a phone call. She was very nice and helpful at the start. Very much, it's your business. You run it how you want it. There's no pressure whatsoever. You set your own targets. So I added people to my group. I downloaded a lot of product pics, scheduled some posts, and ran a couple of little competitions on the group, like design a picture for the group banner, that sort of thing. Managed to get a sale in the first couple of days. One of my girlfriend's friends has 2 little kids, and they found some books they liked, and I put the order in. I asked my upline for some help, as the order system wasn't the clearest, and all I got was, "How much is the order for?" When I told her it was for about £25, I was told to hold off on placing the order, as if I put in an order over £120, you get various free book choices. I said, okay, cool. Well, I'll put this one through as it is. It's for a friend, and I'll be dropping it over to them myself. All I got was, well, okay, but you really should save orders and put them through in one big one. But it's your business. You do what you want with it. Wow. I got a few more orders and it was over £120. So I asked my upline how I did the postage, as it was for about 5 different people. She said, it's easiest to get them sent to you, then send them on yourself. It will eat a bit of your profit, but you will make something from it. By the time I had sent the orders out, I was £7.50 down. Zero profit whatsoever. By this point, I was very disillusioned with it. I was getting bombarded with Facebook requests for the executive group with progress catch-ups and such like. So how does that make any sense? Like, you're ordering all the books to your address and then you have to send them on. Obviously, books are heavy, so the packages are gonna cost more than when you're sending papers or a piece of clothing. It was also at this point that my upline was their featured team leader of the month, and the reason for wanting me to go out on big orders was clear. With all the people under her, she was making £1,800 a month from their sales. Not sure if they meant to post that info or not. Probably not. I was also struggling mental health wise at this point due to anxiety and depression related to losing my wife and father in the same year a few years back. I'm so sorry for this. I can't even imagine. It's just terrible. My condolences. So put a notification on my group saying I was taking a break for a while as I needed to get my head straight. This is a couple of months of group running, and I had a few small orders in that time. All I got from my upline was, you haven't done many lives yet, you need to do them. When I explained it was difficult to even get up and get dressed that day, let alone do a live video, all I got was, your business if that's how you want to run it. That's so cold and disgusting, honestly. And was messaged at least once a day with any orders. What are you doing to promote new products? What are you pushing this week to get sales? That's just absolutely heartless and cold. In the end, I put the group on pause, told the upline I'll message her if I need anything. Haven't been active for a few months now, so I'm classed as inactive as far as Usborne is concerned. And I made enough in the first month to clear any costs, so just left basically. Haven't had any communication from my upline since. All told, I think I probably made about £5 out of the whole thing, which when you consider the amount of time and effort needed to maintain an online presence, just not worth it. I knew it was an MLM going in, but they said other than the initial amount of the starter pack, there were no targets. However, my upline obviously didn't get that message because it would hurt her bottom line if I didn't put out orders in. So yeah, they tell a lot of misinformation in order to recruit people. Again, I'm so sorry for your losses. I hope you're doing better mental health wise. I know the pandemic wasn't easy for anyone, and well, it's still not easy. I mean, it's still going on, and I'm so sorry. Just, this lady is so cold-hearted. I can't believe, like, if someone tells you they're struggling with their mental health, it doesn't matter if they're a close friend or a random person, you to just not react to it at all and just keep pushing the freaking MLM is so absolutely disgusting. Obviously, you should try to talk to them, try to contact someone, maybe try to get them to call a helpline if they have mental health issues and stuff like that. Please, please do not ignore if a person tells you that they are struggling mentally. Yeah. Okay, so for other MLMs, my girlfriend did a few, as much as I tried to talk her out of it. She did Body Shop at Home, Avon, and Ann Summers. She was basically talked into the Body Shop one by her friend. We hear that very often as well. A friend falls for an MLM and then they try to recruit everyone around them. By one of her friends who was so persistent at recruitment, she tried to recruit me, even though I live in the same house as my girlfriend. I don't know. A few horror stories related to this one and A1. The main being you have to hit target sales each month to stay active. So my girlfriend would try and get all the orders she could and would order herself some bits to meet the amount. So this is on monthly basis. Well, by the time she had done all that and sent out orders, she was generally down money-wise. Or on a very good month, you just about broke even. A1 was the worst though. You're given a credit limit that you use to place orders. When you put an order in, you use that credit to buy products. Then when the customer pays for their order, you use that to clear the credit, keeping the difference between what you pay and what the customer pays as a profit. However, a lot of the customers my girlfriend had been elderly, only paying cash instead of any type of online banking. So instead of paying it off directly, my girlfriend was having to find more money to clear the credit. No, granted, she isn't great with money to begin with. Tends to spend it as soon as she has it. Yeah, I kind of have the same problem. I've been trying to be good lately though, so for several months I had to pay off her A1 bill as she was getting debt collection letters. Oh my god, that's so scary. Now, the really funny part, when it was all paid off and sorted, leaving me short several months of the trot, they upped her limit to £850. And again, she has had an amount to hit each month. She always had something to pay back on it each month. When I basically said I can't afford to keep paying it off as I need to pay household bills, she stopped asking. Only when she didn't have enough to cover it and pay her phone bill, resulting in her mobile being cut off, oh my god, she did finally realize. She stopped A1 altogether. I know I may sound horrible for doing it in that way, but it was the only way to show her how much she was losing. No, yeah, I don't think that was horrible. I mean, what were you supposed to do? You can't keep paying off her MLM bills and sacrifice your own bills. I don't think that was horrible. Sometimes, obviously, it's better to try and speak to them, try to get like a reasonable solution to get them out of the MLM. But if they're so brainwashed, so determined to succeed in the business, I think this was actually like, you did what you had to do. I'm sure she's not holding it against you. As for Body Shop, well, all I can say is that her group was the most toxic group of women I have ever came across. They used to have a video call once a week to set targets, share tips. and I would often be in the background, so some of the Huns got to know me a bit. Anyway, one day I happened to say I was feeling low due to previously mentioned mental health issues. One of the girls sent me a personal message saying, "Hey, if you ever need to chat, I'm happy to listen." One of the other girls found this out, and because the girl who messaged me and my girlfriend were both getting more sales than her, she started the rumor that the one who messaged me fancied me. Well, then every video call there were not so subtle little comments and jokes about it, causing a great deal of unnecessary stress and drama. Anytime I tried to say anything about it, I got accused of bullying. So I just left them to it and blocked them all. Good choice. Taking the high road, my girlfriend gave up on Body Shop as, again, it wasn't making any money. And for Ann Summers, I don't think she got a single order, so she gave that one up as well. And I must admit, it is nice not getting 50 Facebook notifications a day from all the various groups she was involved in. I hope she learned her lesson now, and I hope she's going to stay away from MLMs for the future. Again, thank you so much for sharing your stories with us. Hopefully, we're going to keep this series going, because I want to share as many MLM company names, as many experiences that I can. So yeah, if you have had an experience with an MLM company, please email me. My email is going to be down below for submissions. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, if you're my Instagram friend, thank you so much for your continuous support. And if you're coming from anywhere else, again, thank you so much for watching. And feel free to check me out on social media. All the links are going to be down below. And yeah, see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.